So in hip-hop news this week, Vince Staples, the rapper, was being interviewed. He did a video for Time magazine on their website, and he had a video that went out, and it was titled something along the lines of Vince Staples thinks 90s are overrated. And in the video, he's talking about the 90s. Granted, he just was born in the 90s, didn't really grow up in it. But what really drew the attention of a lot of people was that he said that he thinks 90s hip-hop, the golden era, as it were, is kind of overrated and it gets more credit than it should. So the internet went nuts over it, justifiably so, in my opinion. Because when I heard about this, my blood started boiling. I was like, what? How can you say that 90s hip-hop is overrated? You're crazy. So a lot of people got online, internet, Twitter, social media, and just started like ragging on and being like, how dare you say this about the golden era of hip-hop. Noriega got on there and kind of got on him saying like, look, if you didn't live in that era, you really shouldn't speak on it. And he's like, look, I wasn't saying anything bad about it, I'm just saying that's not the era I grew up on. Tyler, the Creator, jumped on and agreed with Vince Staples and said, yeah, I listened to these 90s albums and like they do nothing for me. I get where he's coming from. He says he's from the 90s. He was born in like 93, and so he didn't really grow up in that era. But to put it in perspective, I was born in 82. So around the same time he grew up in the 90s is around the same time I grew up in the 80s. And I knew about 80s music. I'm not saying he doesn't know the history, but the fact that he isn't really giving credit where credit should be paid due, in my opinion, is I don't agree with that. Let us know what you think. Do you think the 90s era, the golden era, is the golden era, or do you agree with Vince Staples and Tyler and think that it's overrated? And speaking of 90s hip-hop, you can't know 90s hip-hop without knowing No Limit. They were huge during the mid to late 90s. Something came out this week. Silk the Shocker stated that apparently No Limit was this close to signing Eminem before anyone really knew who he was, before he signed with Dre and Aftermath, that Eminem could have been with No Limit. And Silk the Shocker said that they had meetings with him, they talked with him, there was much love and respect going back and forth between them, but the reason why they didn't sign him was because they weren't quite sure how to use him. They're like, we're not quite sure how to use a white rapper. Because keep in mind, at this time, there weren't really any white rappers. Eminem was the one who kind of reopened those doors, because Vanilla Ice, when he came out, that kind of burned so many bridges that people weren't willing to take a chance on white rappers, no matter how talented they were. So Eminem, as great as he was, they weren't quite sure how to use him. So the Shocker said that this was obviously a huge failure on our part, which I don't think he should beat himself up over, because I mean, obviously, if you sign Eminem, that'd be a great thing, but, and there's no disrespect to No Limit, I don't think Eminem would have been a good fit there. Like in terms of the music they were making and just Eminem's style, like they could have maybe, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been successful there, but I feel that he and Dr. Dre were destined to be together and make the music, and Eminem would be at like his highest potential as a superstar going the path with Dr. Dre and not Master P and No Limit. Who knows what could have happened, but let us know what you think. Do you think Eminem made the right choice in going with Dr. Dre, or do you think he could have been just as successful with No Limit? Song of this week is You Can See, Jadakiss featuring Future.
Top 5 DOA, niggas know he don't play. I can sell a key a day, I guess it's in my DNA. Comfortable with being at the top, that's where he gon' stay.
Very different styles between the two, which is why I think I was very interested to hear this song. And it definitely sounds more modern, and Jadakiss, I feel, is sort of adapting to like the new sound and like more modern type styles, while still remaining true to his own, I guess, wordplay and lyrics. So it's a very interesting blend, I think works, and I think you should check it out. Thank you for watching Hip Hop and Movie News, and keep sending in those 15-second freestyle submissions. This week it comes from Scotty Stats. I'll see you guys next week. And you're gonna do the Michael Jackson yellow cat eyes, right?
Sorry, I can't do that.
Wait, what?
Some people with fame and money obsessed, chasing the name, love the best. Forget the rest. Fake affection from some narcissistic hope chest. When fame fades, it's put to the test. For those who know true love, you'll be put under cardiac arrest.